Welcome to Mental Matrix. Today, my TOIPC is masculinity myths that are ruining your relationship. If you've ever been told that real men don't cry, men should always be in control, or guys should never need help, you've already been handed a set of rules, not laws of nature, but myths. Myths that sound harmless at first, but can quietly eat away at your connection with the people you love. Today, we're unpacking some of the biggest masculinity myths that are sabotaging relationships, whether you realize it or not. And before we dive in, let's be clear, this is not about attacking men, masculinity, or strength. This is about clearing out the lies so that your masculinity can actually help you build healthy, loving, respectful relationships. Let's start myth busting. Real men don't show emotions. This is the granddaddy of them all. From a young age, many boys are taught to man up, stop crying, or tough it out. The message is clear: emotions are weakness. And if you want to be respected, you'd better keep them locked up. The problem? Suppressing emotions doesn't make them disappear. It makes them leak out in less healthy ways: sudden anger, emotional distance, or shutting down during conflict. In relationships, this becomes a huge problem. Your partner can't read your mind. If you don't share when you're hurt, stressed, or worried, they're left guessing. And guessing usually leads to misunderstandings. Healthy masculinity isn't about hiding emotions. It's about mastering them. Being able to say, "I'm feeling overwhelmed," or "that really hurt me," is not weakness, it's connection. And connection is what relationships need to survive. A man's worth is measured by his ability to provide. This myth says your paycheck is your identity. You are only as valuable as the money you bring in. Yes, providing for yourself and your loved ones is important. But when it becomes the sole measure of your value, you trap yourself in a constant performance test. Lose a job, have a slow financial month, or decide to take a break. And suddenly your self-worth feels like it's gone too. In relationships, this can create two problems. 1, you might overwork and neglect emotional intimacy. 2, you might resist vulnerability because you're afraid of being seen as less than if you're not earning enough. True partnership isn't a boss-employee contract. Your worth is also in how you show up emotionally, mentally, and physically, not just financially. And if your partner is only with you for your money, that's not a relationship, that's a transaction. Men must always be in control. This is the James Bond fantasy: calm, cool, and unshakable no matter what. In control of your emotions, your partner, and the relationship. The truth? Control is often just fear dressed in a nice suit. The fear of being hurt, embarrassed, or seen as flawed. So you try to control situations, conversations, and sometimes even your partner's behavior. But relationships aren't built on control. They're built on trust. If you're always trying to steer the relationship, your partner never feels fully safe to be themselves. They feel managed, not loved. A strong man isn't one who controls everything, it's one who knows when to let go, to trust, and to allow space for both people to be human. Men should always be the initiator in love, sex, and problem solving. Many men are taught that it's always on them to make the first move, to take the lead, to fix problems. While initiative can be a great quality, turning it into a rigid rule puts you under constant pressure. You feel like you can never have an off day, never wait for your partner to take the lead, and never admit you don't have a solution. In reality, healthy relationships thrive when both people initiate affection, intimacy, and solutions. Sometimes your partner wants to plan the date. Sometimes they want to initiate physical closeness. Sometimes they'll have the answer before you do. And that's not a threat to your masculinity, that's a relief. Because you're no longer carrying everything alone. Men don't need emotional support. This myth says men should be the rock for everyone else, but never need a rock themselves. Here's the problem. Rocks don't have relationships, people do. And people need support. Men who believe they shouldn't lean on anyone often bottle up stress until it explodes as anger, withdrawal, or unhealthy coping habits. Asking for support doesn't make you less of a man, it makes you a man who understands his limits and values connection over ego. Your partner doesn't just want to be with you. They want to be there for you. Let them. Real men are always confident and never insecure. Confidence is attractive, sure. But this myth pretends that real men never doubt themselves, never feel jealous, never question their worth. The truth is, everyone has insecurities, including men. The danger isn't in having them. It's in pretending you don't. When you deny insecurity, it can show up as defensiveness, overcompensation, or controlling behavior. Ironically, admitting your insecurities often makes you more attractive. Because it shows authenticity. Your partner doesn't want a superhero mask, they want you. Masculinity means avoiding anything feminine. From hobbies to clothing to emotional expression, some men are taught that anything associated with women is off limits. This is a trap. It keeps you from exploring parts of life that might bring joy, creativity, and deeper connection. Maybe you love cooking, dancing, or talking about feelings. None of those things make you less of a man, they make you more of a person. When you allow yourself to step outside the approved masculine box, you often find new ways to bond with your partner, and they'll love the fuller version of you. Men should be completely self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency is great until it turns into isolation. The idea that a man should never rely on others for advice, comfort, or help is a surefire way to burn out. In relationships, this myth can make you reject help from your partner even when they're eager to give it. Over time, they may feel unnecessary, unwanted, or shut out. Why these myths are so persistent? These myths don't stick around because they're true. They stick around because they've been repeated for generations. Movies, TV, family, and even friends reinforce them. And often they seem to work in the short term. For example, being stoic might get you through a tough moment without breaking down. But in the long run, it can damage your emotional health and your connection with others. The cost of believing these myths. Emotional distance. You feel alone even in a relationship. Unresolved conflicts. Problems get buried instead of solved. Burnout. You carry everything alone until you collapse. Resentment. Your partner feels shut out or over-controlled. Lost intimacy. You miss chances for deeper connection. Breaking free. What healthy masculinity looks like. Healthy masculinity isn't the opposite of these myths, it's beyond them. It looks like being strong and gentle, leading sometimes and following sometimes, providing financially when you can and emotionally always, being open to support without feeling ashamed, valuing your partner as an equal, not as someone you have to manage. Practical steps to dismantle masculinity. Myths in your relationship. 1. Name the myth. When you catch yourself thinking, I shouldn't cry, or I have to fix this alone, say it out loud to yourself or your partner. 2. Replace the rule. Instead of real men don't cry, try real men feel emotions and respond with courage. 3. Practice vulnerability in small doses. Share one personal fear, insecurity, or feeling weak with your partner. 4. Accept help. Even if you think you don't need it, let your partner support you sometimes. 5. Expand your identity. Try something you've avoided because it's too feminine. Cooking a new recipe, taking a dance class, or talking openly about feelings. 6. Check your control reflex. If you find yourself trying to manage your partner's actions, ask, am I doing this from love or from fear? Masculinity is not the enemy. But myths about masculinity, they're like termites in the foundation of your relationship, silent, small but destructive if ignored. When you let go of the myths, you don't lose your manhood, you gain your freedom. You gain the ability to show up as a full, authentic person. And that's the version of you that can build the deep, lasting, loving relationship you actually want.